yeah, yeah. Uno, dos, tres, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que es caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah. Esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Ya está, esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, reggaetón, con su flow gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, reggaetón, ella como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yeah, yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo me va a hacer booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Nos noquea como lo haya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. La bebé esta cara y eso que no usa Supreme. Con su flow gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, reggaetón. Con su flow gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, reggaetón. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca, baby. Presentando pa'
For a fact, they both don't like that woman.
Yep, I told you.
I tell you that because, furthermore, if you look at the situation, their father met that woman when he was 29. Do you know how old Diana was? 16. Diana was 16.
My goodness.
My man
What
was
would they say in 2023?
You see? The eight police have not said anything.
Police.
Now, when your
severe grooming.
imagine your mother goes on TV
brutal, man.
and says your father and his descendants and his predecessors are bullying me, they're making me not eat, the woman is giving me sleepless nights, and then my mother dies, and then you go and marry that woman. Huh? You think I'm gonna like that woman?
That is a slap in the face.
A big slap in the face. But for William, as you said, he's sucking up because what? For him, he wants to be king.
He wants to be king.
So, but Harry, my guy, my brother, sticking up for his
William
brother.
is what you call a man that does not stand for anything, can fall for anything.
He will fall. Look at him, he's just like the wind.
That's why his head is falling as well. His hair is falling out.
Allegedly, he's also like father, like son, I hear.
Yeah.
He also has a side cupping, but
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
Is this a news flash?
And allegedly,
are you breaking?
She was there at the
We
coronation.
didn't confirm it. We didn't hear it here.
Me, I'm just talking what I read in the newspapers.
What newspaper is this?
That already she was also there at the coronation. On Camilla's side. That's what I saw.
William had chest,
Allegedly. So for me, I don't think they like her, but they tolerate her.
So they have a department of side piece affair.
Did you not see that?
I swear, every time I watch that clip, it's like a bunch of my old uncles speaking, and it just cracks me up every single time. Anywho, Welcome to the Sunday podcast, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I got a couple of updates for you today. So let's see who's in the chat. Hope we've all had a great weekend. It is blazing here in Tbilisi. It's finally like summer has really hit. And so I'll definitely be doing some sightseeing in the coming week. So definitely follow me on my travel channel and the Nomad. And by the way, because so many people ask me quite often about remote work and traveling and remote work, I actually did a post on my Instagram yesterday, and it was 6 remote skills that you can learn within a year to become a digital nomad or remote worker. So if you want to actually read that Instagram post in full, there is the link in the chat, and you can go follow me on my travel Insta and the Nomad if that's something that you were interested in doing. Oh, thank you so much, Church Nelly, also for putting my travel YouTube channel as well. I try to make content there when I can. All right. What shall we start with first? Just a reminder, I guess, that Megan did win her Gracie Award, Digital Media winner, and Spotify did post this really sweet message. Megan's voice is the most soothing. So I'm hoping we see more podcasts. Maybe the next one will be just Harry or Harry and Megan. We'll see. But I think it'll be very interesting to do like archetypes from the male perspective. I think we definitely get some very interesting conversations out of that one. Also, it's been a couple of weeks, but I don't know about you all. I'm still laughing my head off at this. Like, I literally still cannot believe that this that this happened. Like, do you know what gets me the most? What cracks me up the most about this whole clowning was that at no point did they go, you know what? Should we just redesign everything? Like, I don't know if those of you who like to be on Instagram, you know, you get those fashion sketch designers that do like modern updated versions of like really old designs. I mean, your girl on Instagram is making more interesting clothing designs than what this 1,000-year-old institution could come up with for 2023. Like, if this was me, first and foremost, I would have gotten rid of the crowns. Because while I'm sure those, crowns are absolutely priceless, in photos like this, I'm sorry, but they look cheap. They look like they could have been bought from a costume shop. I mean, this is gonna be, I'm calling it now. This is gonna be the most worn Halloween costume of 2023. Like, remember when Suicide Squad came out? And everybody was gonna wear Harley Quinn. Now this year it's gonna be Charles and Camilla. And then you've got Charles with that, Adidas stripe top, which I just don't understand. Like, nobody in the palace looked at this and went, it's giving Adidas. And then you've got like the tassels hanging down. Like, they just pulled those from the curtains. And then you've got the fur thing. Like, you've got so many different types of fabric trying to work together. Just wow. I don't know what to say about this. Surely the crown should have gone. The dresses should have been more modern. I mean, they actually looked better on their wedding day. They actually looked like decent on their wedding day. This, it just looks like they went to a Halloween shop. Don't understand it. But yes, this actually happened, and I'm still not over it. I'm still laughing. Anywho, National TV Awards for those of us in the UK. And in the TV interview category, Harry and Tom Bradby are in that. So I'm assuming that this goes to Tom Bradby, not to Harry, but his interview with Harry for ITV was nominated. Alongside Amor Rajan, he did a whole series of interviews, including Harry and also Johnny Afia in that Prince and the Press documentary, and also Piers Moron, who is also nominated. So definitely go and vote. If you haven't already, just go to the National TV Awards website, and he is in a TV interview because it is a public vote. Please let's not let Piers Moron win. We'll never hear the end of it. Right, get your comments before we go on to the next thing. Also, we haven't heard anything from Harry and Meghan since the incident in New York. I'm assuming they're just, trying to put a case together, trying to figure out, exactly what happened, what was going on, who was responsible. But I'm sure just working and looking after their babies nonetheless. It's quite interesting though how quickly the tabloid press went quiet about it. It went from, getting former NYPD officers who weren't even there talking about it, interviewing shady paparazzi who wouldn't show their faces, interviewing that stupid taxi driver that was all over the place and smiling about it all, to just kind of silence. And I guess also they're trying not to draw too much attention to what happened with Sophie, because if they start going off about what happened in New York again, people are gonna remind them, oh, by the way, but didn't a royal kill someone's grandma? And they're also keeping that very, very quiet. Just phenomenal, really. I mean, you had Sophie being shipped off to Iraq, and then you had Charles going off to Romania, and then Kate just carrying on and grinning and grinning and grinning as usual. And Christina, you said, oh, that picture straight from Costume City. Literally, did it not look like that? Christina, imagine Kate and William wearing that stuff. Do you know what? My mind hasn't even gone to that place yet, just because, you know what? At the rate things are going, honestly, I'm starting to question whether or not the monarchy will even make it to then. Because the way things are going already, and we're not even a month out, with Charles and Camilla, Kate and William's married on shaky grounds. And I actually doubt if we even get to that point, it will be Kate and William. I think it will be Rose and William. So no, I cannot imagine Kate and William in this. I think that if they do get there, I think that they would change it by then. I don't see Kate and William wearing these crowns. I think they maybe go for more modern headpieces. Something that doesn't look so clownish. Right, next thing. Oh yeah, on to Catherine. Catherine, you in danger, girl. You in danger. This was the cover of the Sunday Mirror. Kate and the K, trying not to trigger the censors there. So this is to do with the CEO of one of the charities that she is a patron of, the charity boss. Now he is a convicted Emma. He's a convicted Emma who kapinged. Do you know what? I don't even know what words trigger the censors nowadays. So if I start speaking in funny codes, you know why. He kapinged a man to death on a train in his youth. So this happened when I think he was about 17, and they'd gone to a football game or something, and he was drunk and he was with a bunch of friends, and he kapinged the man to death. So his defense is that he's, never hid his past. He did his time and he spent his life um helping, young people who are disadvantaged, and that he regrets it, and that he feels that he is really rehabilitated. So I'll let you make of that what you want, because I know people have very different opinions when it comes to rehabilitation and criminals. But nonetheless, this guy is the boss of this charity. Not that the royals are averse to being around shady characters, but here we are. What I found interesting about this, though, is if you look at this Daily Fail headline, it centers Kate. So both Kate and William are involved with this charity, but it centers Kate, as does this front cover of the Daily Mirror. Kate and the Kate. William was there as well. So why are they centering Kate in this? I have theorized for a while that they were going to start coming after Kate. I do think that she's on the out and that they're trying to push her out. I stand by that theory. I just didn't imagine that it would be this quickly and so soon. I honestly didn't think. I thought it would be a lot slower, much slower rollout, but it's like they're just going for it. Because when is the last time you saw Kate's name on the front cover of a paper like this? Mind you, this comes just days after she overshadowed Charles and Camilla at the garden show. So this is basically Charles and Camilla's clapback. You wanted to overshadow us at the garden show with that pink dress. Apparently that's how easy it is to overshadow a whole king and queen. You wanted to overshadow us at the garden party in that pink dress. So now we're going to put you on the front cover of the Daily Mirror, Kate and the K. Did Harry lie? No, he did not lie. This is what they do. Briefing against family members. Being jealous when one person overshadows the other. And now, with Harry and Meghan silent, they need a new scapegoat. Louis and Charlotte are the spares, but they're too young. William is the next king, so they can't go after him. Not yet, anyway. So who do they have left? Who do they have left to make the scapegoat? It's going to be Kate. So if I was Catherine, I would just take that divorce money and run. Stop hanging on for them only to dispose of you in the worst way. Leave in peace. Leave with whatever scraps of your sanity that you still have left after 2 decades of grinning and grinning, and allowing yourself to be molded by this institution. Leave now. Leave now, leave in silence. Just let Rose have her crown, girl, because they are going to destroy you. Especially now that Camilla's at the wheel. To your comments, then we'll go into the next thing. Please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, folks. We are powering towards 17,000. Probably get there by the end of next month. Yes, Mina, everybody should be exposed for their wrongdoings to other people. Indeed. Alan Vernon, are you sure they didn't come from party pieces? Who knows? Maybe party pieces had a few costumes in there. I actually looked at the Party Pieces website once, and it was a pretty basic looking party decoration site. It was nothing too special. And they did actually have, I even think I covered this on the podcast once. They did actually have an opening for, I think it was social media manager. So it must have been making some money for them to be hiring someone, but just not as much as they made it out to be, because now it's shut down. Oh, Cinderella, the family needs more than therapy. They need yeah, Church Nelly. That's exactly what I was going to say. They need an exorcist. They need an exorcist, a shaman, a monk, all the things and all the people. Denise, divorce now not a good idea. For Kate, I think it is. I have to say, I do. Because what are her options? Divorce, take the money and go silently, or be ripped to shreds if you stay. Because to me, it seems like she's the one that's hanging on. Anita, yes, I agree. I think that William wants to divorce her. The bad publicity is coming from both sides. She's the one that's hanging on. Her and her family. Because if she divorces him, the money train is gone. Okay. Next thing, Phillip Schofield. So this is all unraveling. I believe that there is a super injunction that's about to come to an end in July, and people are saying that the young man who's involved in this, Matthew, could speak out. He had threatened to speak out before. There is actually a video that I'm gonna play because I think it just explains the whole situation a lot more clearly. So let's have a listen to this and then we'll discuss.
Schofield, who had been married to his wife for 27 years and had 2 children with her, publicly came out as gay on This Morning, with Holly Willoughby interviewing him on This Morning and supporting him throughout his announcement. Now, a lot of the original response to Phillip Schofield's announcement about his sexuality was quite positive. However, shortly after his announcement, allegations surfaced from insiders of This Morning and within the, British television industry, who claimed that Phillip Schofield had been grooming and having an affair with a runner on This Morning by the name of Matthew McGreevy. Now, McGreevy is 34 years Schofield's junior. He's 34 years younger than him. Phillip Schofield was alleged to have gotten Matthew McGreevy his position at This Morning when he was 18 years old. And Phillip Schofield was a patron of a theatre company that Matthew McGreevy had attended when he was a child, meaning that the two had met and had known each other since Matthew McGreevy was 11 years old. With Phillip Schofield following Matthew McGreevy and sharing interactions with him on Twitter when, I believe, Matthew McGreevy was about 15 years old here. Here the two are caught on a dinner date together by British prankster Jack Jones. Furthermore, insiders claimed that the affair between the two was an open secret within This Morning, and many involved in the show, including Holly Willoughby, knew about it. However, the affair is alleged to have gone sour, with McGreevy mysteriously leaving This Morning to go and work on a rival show on ITV, Loose Women. And it's been said that McGreevy planned to go public over the affair, as he was furious that Schof had apparently fucked him over, his words, and was going to go to the press and tell them everything, which would have allegedly forced Phillip Schofield to publicly come out. Now, it's further alleged that Phillip Schofield has a super injunction in place on the British media to stop this from being reported on. And it's further alleged that Phillip Schofield pays 30 grand a month to a crisis management team who brushed this under the carpet for him. Like and follow me for part 2.
All right, so there you go. I hope that makes it a little bit more clear exactly what's been going on. And there was also this incident that happened outside of the last National TV Awards where Matthew McGreevy confronted Holly, and Phillip was watching the confrontation as Matthew was thrown out. So to me, this just looks like another case of powerful individual was up to absolutely no good, and everyone around him just stayed silent, played along, smiled, made the perpetrator look like a victim. And if indeed this Mr. Matthew McGreevy wants to speak out, I hope that he does. From the reaction that I have seen, it's mostly in support of Matthew McGreevy, and I don't think there's anyone that's going to be taking Phillip Schofield's side. I think we've really come a long way with the Me Too movement, and people speaking up about abuse, especially when it comes to young boys. I think there's the added stigma there. So I do think this chap is going to be very well supported if he does come out and wants to speak about his experience, because indeed the chap was about 10 or 11 the very first time they made contact. So I believe they started their relationship allegedly, for the lawyers listening, around the time I think he was 15, 16. But the very first time that Phillip Schofield laid eyes on this young man was about 10 or 11. And I think he was at a theatre show. And they, obviously followed each other online, followed each other on Twitter, and were conversing there. And then obviously at some point, it led to a very inappropriate relationship. I mean, I think Schofield is something like 30, 35, 36 years, this young lad's senior, and it is grooming, it is inappropriate. And yeah, it's great that he is being held accountable. Also, Omid tweeted this earlier. He said, hopefully the uproar around ITV's alleged cover-ups will lead to other offenders in the media industry, particularly those who think they've gotten away with the most stomach-churning of crimes, losing their ring of protection too. Time to put morals over money. And we know that Phillip Schofield isn't the only one. And, Omid's right when he says stomach churning, because we know that there's others who have probably done even worse, and this is pretty disgusting on its own. But, it wouldn't surprise me if there were more Jimmy Saviles out there. But people did start theorizing, well, who could Omid be talking about? I mean, he could be talking about a number of people. But one of the names that has come up is Dan Whatnot. Now, this screenshot from somebody's story has actually been going around the internet for some time. I don't know the individual who posted this, exactly when they posted this, but this was someone called It's Andrew Brady, who posted this on his Instagram story some time ago, and he said this: "It's my firm belief that the news will eventually see the light of day where Dan Wootton is outed as a predatory male he is, and so many rumors claim it, because I suspect it'll come out soon. I wanted to be the one that gave you the exclusive on it. Everyone knows it's Dan. They're all just so scared to say it because of what you will say about them. Well, they say the most dangerous creation in the world is a man who has nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose, Dan, so bring your lawyers and your threats and see how much you get. I may be poor in possessions and wealth that you can try and take, but I'm rich in so many things: life-changing memories, amazing family, and the best friends and their love for me. I have a mind filled with the craziest stories and the best experiences, and nothing but love in my heart left to give. You can't take any of that away from me, Dan. Looks like it's destination bankrupt for me. Dan Wooten is an S-predator who uses his power to try and get what he wants and doesn't care who he hurts. There, I said it. You should be fired, Dan, from all of your ventures with immediate effect, with no compensation, and your voice should be taken away forever. Weinstein and co. Nonce." So again, this is just alleged. I don't know who posted this or exactly when it was. I just know that it's been circulating for a while. But also this has been circulating for a while. This was from a forum about Dan. And one person said, didn't he stalk One Direction off the back of X Factor? And there was some hotel incident where he broke in or something. The person responded by saying, when One Direction, that's a big boy band in the UK, Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, when One Direction were on X Factor, he snuck into their dressing room and took photos of them in various states of undress and then shared them on social media. The boys were all still in their teens at the time. I don't remember that happening. I might have to have a look back and see if that happened. Now, imagine if that was a straight man breaking into the dressing room of a teenage girl band and the reaction it would provoke. Yet, for some reason, Wooten got away with it. It's serious predator stuff like this. He also used to frequent gay saunas in London, and that's apparently how he got his big break in media. He threatened to sue the person who said it, but never actually did. I took that to mean it's probably true. And then somebody else wrote, he's no longer showbiz editor of The Sun anymore. I think he's been promoted to executive editor or something. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm flabbergasted if that's true. It boggles me how he has come so far up the food chain. I am a Kiwi and he was nobody in New Zealand. I've only heard of him when I came to the UK. He used to write the financial articles in some backstreet rural New Zealand newspaper since the 2000s. Well, given that this man possesses almost no talent whatsoever, would I be surprised if, Dan Wootton slept his way to the top? No, I would not be. I mean, it's not necessarily unusual for show business. And he's clearly someone who has, no morals either. And so when you don't have any talent, well, you've got to get up there somehow, don't you? What's also interesting about Dan Wootton is his commentary on Phillip Schofield. So when Phillip Schofield first came out, he was very congratulatory. He thanked Phillip for coming out, that it was one of the hardest conversations he's ever had in his life. And then Phillip Schofield responded by saying, thank you very much, Dan. And then Dan Wootton responded by saying, it changed my life. And now Dan Wootton has done a complete 360 and said, I told ITV about Schofield's affair with this young colleague in 2019 and urged them to investigate, but they dismissed it as malicious gossip. What followed looks like nothing short of a cover-up. So 1 minute you were praising him, and now all of a sudden ITV are doing a cover-up. Would it surprise me at all if Wooten was an abuser? No. Because the way he goes after Meghan, with such vitriol and such hatred. And what gets me about Wooten is, it's like you really get a sense when he's attacking Meghan that he's enjoying it. Like he deeply, deeply dislikes this woman for no reason at all, other than his own jealousy. Right. There was a story about Fergie and fraudulent money, so I just want to end with that. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole article. You can go search for it in the Times, but it's basically a failed media company faces a lawsuit to the tune of 19 million. It's basically the investors who are suing them for their failed investment. I don't know why you would expect that Fergie, of all people, would be able to handle 19 million pounds for a company like this. It's just not her experience and not her background. Let's have a look at what the article says. Okay, I'll read a little bit of it. They were directors of Gate Ventures, a publicly listed company that invested in startup businesses and theatre shows, including West End Productions. They have been sued by liquidators seeking to recoup up to 19 million lost by their failed media investment company. It's been placed into administration. The company raised 24 million, mainly from small-time investors in the Far East, who were wowed by the presence of Fergie and her Lord Chairman grade. You know, that doesn't surprise me. I feel like people from other countries, they have a very romanticized idea of the royals and the aristocracy. So yeah, would it surprise me that I guess it makes sense why they threw so much money, because they were wowed by the idea of being associated with Lord Grade and Duchess Fergie. That they didn't actually do their due diligence. So yeah, I guess that makes sense now. That's how Fergie managed to get 19 million. But the audacity, right, to take that amount of money, knowing that you wouldn't be able to handle that money and deliver. Just wow. Oh god, who was it that said yeah, Rahini, Fergie, a fraud? Say it ain't so. Okay, I am gonna do call-ins very, very quickly, but you only get 2 minutes each, please, because it's getting late here and your girl needs to go to sleep. So here is the link if anybody wants to join. Keep it very quick today. Rahini, Philip always felt shady to me. He's another saddle, yeah. Indeed. And you know, there's so many of them. Yeah, Jay, Philip and Holly were always dragging Harry and Meghan. And here you are, you know, with all your secrets coming out. Teresa, you said there are others out there who have or are doing this nasty behavior. Yeah, I mean, there's been allegations before about Piss Moron when he was at CNN, and a whole lot of other creeps as well. I think who is this? Was it Rolf Potts? Another notorious Jimmy Savile type, who was also he's also well, he was associated with Piers Morgan back in the day. He actually died recently. I mean, he actually did see the inside of a jail cell, and he did serve some time. Unfortunately, they never caught Savile fast enough, and the guy was dead before he could see, you know, or his victims could see any real justice. Yeah, okay, so I've seen a couple people asking about Harry and Meghan's marriage. I am never going to discuss that because it's just nonsense. Respectfully, I understand that maybe there's a couple of maybe new squaddies, you know, people coming into the fandom all the time. Just understand that when you see articles like that being written, it is just the tabloid press feeding into this narrative because they have to paint Harry as, you know, sad, alone, isolated. You know, he's being held hostage in his beautiful Montecito mansion with his beautiful wife and his beautiful ginger kids. Only an idiot would think that a man who escaped a cult and now has a beautiful family would be miserable. But they have to feed that narrative. Because if the royalists and the monarchists finally snap out of their dream, their daydream, and realize they've been lied to, there'll be hell. So painting Harry as sad and as Meghan as the problem and the marriage is breaking down, it's all just part of the narrative they're trying to build, folks. For those of you that are new squaddies, just pay no attention to it. Okay? Right, let's get on with the calls. I'm only going to take 4 max. So if there's anyone else, there's a link. It's your last chance to come up. I'm only taking 4 people. Give me a sec. As usual, folks, know the rules. Keep it respectful. Keep it on topic, and please respect the time. And if you do use, be smart with your words. You know how I'm sure most of you know how the censors on YouTube work. So if you have to use coded language sometimes, please do, just for the sake of me not getting demonetized. I please do ask that you do that. Okay. It's not me. It's not me trying to censor you. It's YouTube. Okay. So just please bear that in mind. Right. Valerie, how are you, my dear?
Good morning, good evening, my dear. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is well. Having a good bank holiday.
Yeah.
I'm just hilariously funny. Did you know that Philip and Dan are both from Australia, or New Zealand?
Oh no, I didn't know that Phillip Schofield was from. I actually thought that he was British. I thought he was English.
No, he's not. He's New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. He was on television for a very long time. He used to be on television, and do you remember do you remember when he was friends with? He's still friends. I'm not sure if he's still friends with Andy Cole. Do you remember?
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know about that. That's interesting.
Yes, he was on television for a long time. And apparently Dan Wootton was on the 3 a.m. club, but he's a very nasty character. Apparently he harassed Alexandra Burt because he wanted her to give him an interview. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. And she actually spoke about that it made her like really depressed. She had to go through therapy. It was when she was on that dancing show. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. And he kept on talking, and he really kept on thinking. And I think what happened was he got a lot of complaints because a lot of people, because he used to start attacking her on Twitter, and a host of the people started attacking him because he kept on spreading these lies, because she cried because I think her parents died. Her mother died. So he said like that. And what the problem is, I think it is allegedly that the reason why he has this venom over who, because she married who, and he can't get over that. A lot of them are, I didn't realize it, but a lot of them are obsessed over who. So they have to find that his parents are they have to say that she's handcuffed him and she's doing this and she's doing that. She's doing all these different things.
Indeed. Well, thank you as always, Valerie.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody, and everyone have a pleasant evening.
You too. Thank you. Rahini, you there?
Yes, hi. Hey, squaddies, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Hello?
I know, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I've always wondered, why is it that they hold on so much to these problematic individuals in the British media? I always wonder, is it because of such a lack of talent that these guys are the only one that could pull the views and stuff? I just always find that very strange, because to me, whenever these things come out, it costs you a lot of money and it costs you drama and embarrassment. So I just fire them, and you know what I mean? It just seems, where is it a lack of talent? But that Philip guy always used to rub me the wrong way. I remember there was this one where he was saying some really problematic things of a guest and was going on about the guest and the way the guest was dressed, and it just felt really, really creepy. And I wondered, how nobody not noticing this? Is it just me? Am I overreacting? But now we know that, listen, he might be a groomer, which is sad, know. And I have a feeling that Dan Wooten's skeletons might have about to be falling out.
Yeah,
it might. Yeah, I feel it's about to be coming out. I'm here for it. And as for Kitty, I want to feel sorry for her, and I want to feel sorry for Kitty. Like, my Christian values, I prayed this morning and thing, and it's like, I want to, but Jesus, God, you're gonna have to forgive me, because I don't. I really don't. God, you're gonna. I hope this does not get me fired. You can imagine you on the pearly gates with Saint Peter, and Saint Peter was like, "You remember, Kate?" I'm like, "But God, Saint Peter, come on!
No,
It's just one person. You should have forgiven, really. You should have. I trying. And the thing is, if you are a woman and have been mistreated by a man, you understand.
yeah.
You understand, and you should be able to empathize. But in nowhere in my mind would I be comfortable with myself being used as a club against another woman.
Yeah.
And nowhere I don't think I've ever been that jealous. So Jesus, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You
Forgive
know,
me.
yeah, I mean, I get you. I don't wish bad on anyone. I equally don't feel sad for Kate. It's just I I want the truth to come out because of the way that Kate was weaponized against Megan. Because it speaks for like a wider, and we've had this discussion before about how Megan is seen, how Kate is seen, and the kind of way that Kate is elevated. So it's just like I don't wish bad on anyone, but I think it's important for the truth to come out. That's all I'm saying. But thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rahini.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. TCC Sun.
There, can you
Go.
hear me?
I can hear you. Go right
Hi
ahead.
there. Hi, happy holiday weekend to those that are celebrating. And of course, you know I'm at work, right? Shh, don't say anything. But it's a little slow. But in reference to, I think it was Rahini, she said something she didn't understand. How come they keep these people on? And I think that's because they kind of know dirt on other people. And it's they gotta find something to say. We just can't let him go. It's like they gotta have a big reason. So now that they're letting him go, whatever comes out of his mouth is gonna blow up. You see what I
Mm,
mean? It's just gonna definitely say, no, 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 don't listen to him. He's been lying all this time. And I think it's like they gotta wait for something big to happen. You know what I mean? Something kind of crazy. But in reference to this Andrew Brady person that wrote that tweet,
oh yes.
I know who he is. He is the ex fiance of Carolyn Flack. He ended up
Oh,
going to
okay.
jail for 4 months because he came after Wooten. He started harassing Wooten for all the stuff that he was writing about Carolyn Flack that may have pushed her to unalive herself. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, and
That
he actually, Dan Wooten actually won the case against him for what he claimed was
yes.
harassment. Yes, okay, that makes
Yes.
sense now. Thank you for
Yes. And
pointing that
that's
out.
yeah, and that's why he's saying I ain't got nothing to lose. Cause
Yeah,
he is so now, even though they dated or whatever, but I'm actually looking at the US Sun. That is dated because you gotta have your receipts. It's dated February the 4th of 2022. And it kind of goes in more detail, but it does show that he had to serve time for 4 months for harassing Wooten. And
yeah,
that's why he's coming back full speed ahead. He don't care. He is so upset because from my understanding they dated, they decided to part, but they remained still very, very close friends. So
mhm,
unfortunately, when she was no longer here, it really just destroyed him. And he was like, I'm not letting you get away with this. So he's coming back. He's on old boy's side. He's coming to get
mhm.
him. And I'm here for it. I want to see it happen. I know. I just want to see that sad little man get what he
Deserved.
deserves. That's all I'm
Indeed.
saying.
Thank you so much, TC
Sure
Sun.
thing. Y'all have a great day, okay?
Ciao. All right. Uh, Janet Lavalley. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hey, Janet. How are you?
I'm good. Hi guys. Um, I hope everybody's doing well.
Hmm.
I am still hang up on that paparazzi chase.
Oh yes, yes. Go on.
Yeah, because I know that the statistics they were poorly represented. And
Hmm.
for somebody that lived in New York for like 35 years, and some of the stuff that was
Hmm.
said, and the taxi driver that was interviewed, how did they even get in touch with the taxi driver all the way from UK?
Yeah.
Something definitely not right. And I don't
Well,
understand
the
why people
taxi
think.
the taxi driver could, to your point, the taxi driver could have actually gone to the press himself, knowing that he would get money. So that's a possibility.
Okay. And also, people are acting like in New York City, you cannot speed. That is not true.
Mm.
There is so many highways. The FDR, I've been there driving 86 miles an hour. It's not legal, but there's certain times in New York City when the highway is free. Same thing with the West Side Highway, Harlem River Drive, Sawmill Drive. So I don't know what these people are talking about. And I'm not understanding the press in the UK, if they're just stupid, they're not educated, what's going on. How can you just make an assumption just by just interviewing a taxi driver? And then all of a sudden that's
Yeah.
part of your main media.
No, they're not making an assumption, they're spinning a lie. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that really bothers me. And one thing that I know is in New York City, the street where I used to live, there's 19 camera in one street. Some streets have 16. So I know there's footage that's around.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
sure.
sure if the mayor don't want to embarrass himself. And I wish I was still in New York State. I would never vote for somebody like that. And trust me, my family are there. They would not vote for him in the next 2020 election that's coming. Because until he comes out and apologizes to Meghan and Harry and knowing his facts before he could say something like what he said. And, you know, with that, I mean, I rest my case
Thank
for now.
thank you, Janet. You are very much right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Karen, you are the last one.
Hi,
Hey, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're enjoying the nice weather there. I heard you the
Yes,
last yesterday. You're just enjoying, not yesterday, Friday. You're just enjoying the nice weather, but seeing that it's all sunshine now. That's great.
yes, it's gorgeous here.
Yeah, hi squaddies. I lost my train of thought before when I was listening to the other people. Anyway, um, the lady before said something, and you know, not before the last one here, and she was kind of right on. And what was I going to say? Anyway, before I forget, let me say this. Do you guys realize that Megan was sporting mermaid in that gold dress? Like she was, giving a nod to Little Mermaid. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a wicked mermaid dress.
Is it, I don't know, is it just me, or honestly, I feel like these pictures from outside, like the
Yeah,
dress seemed to look better than like the red carpet pictures. Like, is it just me? Like,
these pictures, and when she was walking
yeah,
in, there was a full shot with her when she was walking in, and that's like full on mermaid. This is like awesome. It's like whoa. This is full on mermaid. It's beautiful. And these pictures here are beautiful.
mm,
Beautiful. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say.
go on.
I don't know if you can remember, years ago, there was a singer from Jamaica. I keep trying to remember his name. Um, uh, he ended up getting locked up in England,
Okay.
and he did an interview at the time when he came out. He not when he started his career. He's from Jamaica, and he was doing recordings as well too in England. And it was a time when England was, really into all the reggae and all that stuff. Um, there's Bob Marley and Bob Marley kids, Ziggy and stuff like that. but this I'm trying to remember his name. Anyway, he ended up getting locked up in England, and he did an interview with before, and it's kind of one of the things that allegedly get him locked up. He was asked a question about how he feel about such people, right? How do I say that? How he feel about about same-sex whatever, okay?
Okay.
And by the interviewer, and the interviewer I think was also that. So he said how he felt, right? He said how he felt, and it was negative to what I guess they expected to hear, because he was not, like the guy was not having any of that, right? And his response is that he's not with that. He is not, like he don't want them around him and stuff like that. He was very outspoken the way he said it. He was and he didn't say it in a nice way, right? And shortly after that, he ended up in jail. Now, my thing is, at that time, how people feel, okay? Because people were just coming out slowly. People were, people are trying to get used to this new thing and all these different stuff, like back in the days, and this is who you are. Why would you ask someone that you're interviewing how they feel about that, knowing, especially coming from Jamaica, this is like, a no-no. You understand? Like, why would you ask?
So I don't want to like take us too off topic. I'm just kind of wondering what this has to do with like the royals, or like I don't really know what you're referring to.
What I'm saying is what it has to do with is that all this stuff is coming out. Yeah. I don't know if this is the same guy that it might not be him, because I think the person that interviewed him was already out, but these people know they're these things, okay? And all this stuff is coming out now, and they're sitting on on TV, and people are listening to them and listening to all the crap, and they're going after other people, okay? Like, if they have all these glass windows, okay, why are you throwing stones? Why are you going after other people? And you have all these things inside of you, and then you're coming out and you're spewing lies and spinning stories and all kinds of stuff after other people and destroying other people's life. And you're sitting there with on a TV show as an interview, and you have all this stuff in your closet, and you're terrorizing other people and lying to your public, okay? And people are dying, people are going to jail, people are all these things are happening to people's life are being destroyed, and here you are sitting down doing this. You have all these glasses in your closet, and you're doing this. Like, how fair is this? Like, I don't understand. It's this is like some kind of mafia thing or something going on. I know I have to come off, but this is just corruption, full on. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay. Sorry, I was just a little bit confused there. Like, I wasn't really understanding the link to the Jamaican artist and Phillip Schofield, but I don't know, maybe I kind of like missed the point there.
No, I'm talking in general, because I mean to say, like, we're talking that Phillip Schofield is not the only one, and this story took me back years ago when this interview happened to this person, okay? And it's the same way Schofield and this girl is on there talking about Meghan, and have Tamale and all these people coming on there and talking and terrorizing these people, okay? And this is something, it's not something that's today. It's something that's been happening a long time ago, because it took me back to that interview years ago that happened to that guy. Okay, so this is that's what I'm trying to get at, because these people are sitting on there and people are dying. Okay, while they're sitting on there doing this stuff, and their closet, is full of glass. It's just ridiculous.
Sorry, okay, thank you for that. I guess because I'm not really familiar with the interview that you were referring to, I just didn't really understand the link. But thank you anyway, as always, Karen. Right. With that, I'm going to end there. Thank you everyone for coming up and supporting as always. Yeah, it's very unfair. The way in which people like Dan Wooten and Phillip Schofield are, just allowed to carry on the way they are. I do, however, hope that, at least Matthew McGreevy is getting support from friends and family. And I do think that he's going to get support if he does choose to tell his story, if that's something, he wants to do. I think we do still have to be sensitive to the fact that this was a very, young man, and that he was groomed. And, having the platform that I do, I feel that I do need to remind people that, this was a very young man that was groomed, and just to be sensitive towards him, and sensitive towards that when talking about this, because there are people who are going to maybe have been in similar situations, who are, maybe seeing this and perhaps are going to be triggered, but hopefully will also feel that they can come forward, because we know that there are just so many of these predators like this, especially in media, in entertainment, and I think especially for young boys as well, who may feel a sense of stigma, that they can come forward, and that they will be supported, and hopefully that will be at least one silver lining, one good thing that comes out of this, that victims can feel more confident to come forward. And with that, I will end it right there, or just go see if you have any more comments. And I want to say thank you to Kathy Rose for the super sticker, and Jivaga, you said, and can you speak on the first black is it matroness Emma, who is like Megan in somewhat, but the gossip paper don't mention her? Well, she's married to a very minor royal, I think like the Viscount of something. She has done interviews before. I think she was even on Dancing with the Stars, which is like a UK dancing show, and she's actually quite close to Kitty Spencer. So she has spoken before. I think she's even spoken about Meghan before and her experience before as a black royal, but she's such a minor royal that she's not seen as a threat like to the crown. So it's probably why you don't really hear a lot about her. Let's see. All right, Gwendolyn, I'll give you the last word of the day. Bye, Squad family. Enjoy the podcast. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the podcast. And yeah, I will see you guys. I mean, I was gonna say tomorrow's podcast, but it's actually Monday. So I will see you guys later today in like another 20 hours. Love you all. Ciao.
Lunes, ya. 1, 2, 3, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que es caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Y ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah. Esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Y esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego. loco porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow, con su flow. Gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, ton, reggaetón, ton, ton. Con su flow, con su flow, con su flow. Gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, ton, reggaetón, ton, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yeah, yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo me va a hacer booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Lo noquea como lo haya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. La bebé esta cara y eso que no usa Supreme. Con su flow, con su flow, con su flow. Gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, ton, reggaetón, ton, ton. Con su flow, con su flow, con su flow. Gemelita de G-Lo, de G-Lo, de G-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, ton, reggaetón, ton, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca.